I want to explain in this class how to use essential oils, what they are, in order to get started using them confidently. I want to come back to my first experience with essential oils, and why that was really important is that it really opened me up to the possibilities, because I wasn't being held back by physical or emotional challenges, and that when they did come up, now that I have solutions, that I wasn't being held back for as long. What I believe is that we all have more potential than we ever thought possible. If we can tap into that, I mean, what good can we do? I went through those challenges with my health, was taking the traditional route, and it just wasn't getting me to the place that I wanted to be. As I dove into looking at my lifestyle, looking at my nutrition, how can I make these changes, and implementing essential oils, because what I love that they create a bridge. They make things a lot easier, faster, simpler. It can help, like maybe you're working on diet changes, but they're hard, right? There are oils that can help if you're having challenges with cravings. There's oils that can help with that. If you're wanting to exercise more, but you have these pains that are holding you back, there's oils that can help with that. It's not really about the oil, but what can they do for you? What possibilities can be opened up? Because you are taking a proactive approach to your health. What empowerment that brings to know that you have tools that you can have more control over your health, whether that's physical or emotional, or with supporting people in your family or your friends. I want to share with you what essential oils are and how you use them. I'll share a few stories with you, and I will share how you can get these in your home at the best price. Essential oils, what are they? They are basically aromatic plant compounds. What does that mean? Certain plants that have these little oil sacs on them, that when you extract those oil sacs, there's compounds within them, and they're protective to the plant. It helps it to heal, helps it to thrive. When we extract those and we use them ourselves, they can be beneficial in that same way. They can help support our cells, help support our immune system. They're antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antidepressive. They can support our mood. And it's not that they heal us, it's that our bodies are given the capability, they have the capability to heal. Sometimes they just need a little extra support to do what it knows how to do, right? Essential oils, when we extract those, we know through science what chemical constituents are in the essential oils now and what they do for a lot of them. We can be very conscious of picking certain oils to support. Maybe you're having anxious feelings. There are certain oils that have chemical compounds in them that support reducing those anxious feelings. Or maybe you're having a hard time sleeping, right? For some reason, that there are certain essential oils, because of the compounds that are in there, that help calm the mind, to get rid of all of that that might be holding you hostage so you can't sleep. Or if there's certain aches or pains that are holding you back from sleeping, right? That there are certain chemical compounds that when we use those, we have a predictable response to them. I love that these have been used for thousands of years. They're not new. They've been used by the Chinese, the Egyptians. Think about the baby Jesus. He was giving frankincense and myrrh. These are essential oils that are invaluable for our health. They're not new, maybe just a rediscovery of those. And then also because we have the science now to do the testing and the validation. And doTERRA has partnered with over 122 different healthcare facilities. Johns Hopkins, University of Utah, Primary Children's, Vanderbilt Hospital. They are seeing this from a scientific perspective, not just the 6+ million people in doTERRA and other companies who have been using oils and having experiences with them. They're being able to validate these experiences and showing why are the oils working. One thing that I do want to share with you is that most of the oils on the market are garbage. The essential oil industry is the fastest growing industry in the world right now. And because of that, there are a lot of companies who are coming in and wanting to get in the game. Well, doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world. The reason why is because of the quality of oils. So when people use them and they get these experiences, that they continue to purchase. Oftentimes we'll go out and purchase from somewhere else and you don't get the same experience with those oils. And I love that they have tied together traditional, more alternative healthcare coming together in this type of integrative medicine. And we're not saying that traditional healthcare is bad, but it has its place. And as we work together, we can have better outcomes and take more control of our own health right in our home. There is something it's called co-impact sourcing that doTERRA does. There's this trend of people wanting to buy direct from the source, and they want to know where the source is and how things are being produced. Are they sustainably produced? Are they ethically produced? That's something that doTERRA brings, is because we know all of our suppliers. They work on the ground with them. What we can help support them with in their communities, because oftentimes these oils are coming from developing countries where they don't have just basic things like healthcare or water, clean water, or schools, education for their kids. doTERRA will go in and find these sources of oils, and they will support the communities that are growing them so that they can be providing these. That provides for their family, right? So this co-impact sourcing really is buying directly from these sources, but then also having the technology to be able to test and validate what's actually in those bottles. If you go to source2u.org, you will find a place where you can put in, once you get your oils, each oil that doTERRA produces has a little barcode that you can scan with your phone, and will take you to the actual testing that was done by third-party laboratories to validate what is in here, where it came from. And that's unique to doTERRA. Most companies are buying their oils from middlemen. They go to these middlemen who buy oils from people. They might be adulterated, they might be created synthetically, you don't know. If you're really wanting to get something that works well, you have to have that quality. It needs to be pure and it needs to be potent in order to have the effects that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But how do we use them? So there's 3 different ways you can use doTERRA essential oils. So the first one is aromatically. So you could just literally open the bottle and smell it. And depending on what the oil is, it will give you a different type of effect. So this is peppermint. This is one that just opened your airways. If you are tired, if you need to be awake and alert and focused, this is one that you can just breathe in. If you have like head tension, this is a great one. You can just breathe in. It will open those airways, respiratory stuff. Multiple things, reasons why you might want to use it aromatically. It's the fastest way that it impacts your mood. So there have been so many times, because we have 6 kids, that it's just crazy. You have different moods all the time, and oftentimes one mood will like challenge somebody else's mood, and it just like can become crazy. I remember this one time I was taking my kids to church. My husband was already there, 6 of them in this van, and my 2 oldest sons were in the back of the van, and they were just duking it out, like seriously fighting, like we're going to church. I just had this thought. I just pulled out one of my oils. I opened it up. It was wild orange. Just opened it up, put some drops in my hands and up to the air conditioning, and it just went throughout the whole car. And within minutes, those boys had stopped fighting. Like the tension in the car just melted away. And I've seen that over and over again. If I'm feeling down, kind of in that dark hole, that I can pull that wild orange out and I just breathe it, and it's so impactful. It's also good when you're using them aromatically. They can clear the air, kill pathogens in the air, also support the mood, support your respiratory system. So you could put it, just breathe it from the bottle, put some on your hands, and you're like the human diffuser. Or you could use a diffuser. You just put a few drops of oil in here with some water, and it will diffuse throughout the day, and it impacts everybody who comes into that room off of those few drops of oil. So it's one of the most efficient ways that you can use essential oils. What I like also is, I know there's a lot of people who like candles or the airwicks. They want things to smell good. Smells evoke certain memories and feelings and emotions. But if you're breathing in toxins, be having negative experiences from those. So this is a simple swap for those candles, those airwick type things. Okay, so the second way that you can use the oils are topically, and that would just be putting it directly on. So maybe you have some blemishes, maybe you have some pain, maybe you have a wart, maybe you have a cut, a burn, that you can just apply it topically. One of the things with safety that you want to just be aware of with essential oils is that if you put something on topically and it doesn't feel comfortable, there are some that are hot oils. It's kind of like if you were to rub your hands on some jalapenos and then you rub your face, it might feel a little hot. It's not damaging, but it's uncomfortable. But you don't want to wash it off with water, because oils and water don't mix. It will just drive it in more. You want to dilute it with another oil. So you could use your vegetable oil, your coconut oil, some lotion. It's called fractionated coconut oil, but it's coconut oil that is liquid at room temperature. It doesn't have the solids, and so it doesn't stain, it doesn't smell. But if you put something on and it's not comfortable, you can dilute it with another oil. Or if you're wanting to put it on a bigger surface area, that you can also dilute it. It doesn't dilute its potency. And then you also don't want to put them in your eyes. So don't think topical in your eye or in your ear. That's topical. You can rub them around your ear, pat them around your eye, which is fine. Just don't put them directly in there. Topically, just think anything. Like what would make sense to put it on? Almost anything. If you're wanting to help grow your hair, if you're having some age things going on, age spots, wrinkles, burns is a big one for our family. So I remember when, gosh, my oldest daughter was probably 4 or 5, she was young, that I had pulled out some food from the microwave, and it was so hot in my hands that I just dropped it. And she was standing next to me, and that splattered on her face. And I had no idea like what to do. It was, you know, burning her, and we kind of cleaned it up and thought, oh, maybe we need to go to the doctor. And so we ended up taking her, and they gave her some stuff to put on it, right? Well, since then, since starting to incorporate essential oil, lavender is incredible for burns, whether it's sunburns or, you know, you're in the kitchen and that kind of burn, that just putting that on. And that was one of the rediscoveries by a scientist in France, and reignited this interest in essential oils, being able to use them actually topically instead of just aromatically. You can use them topically, and then the third way, you can use doTERRA oils, and I'm not going to say that it's true about any other oil as far as their safety because of the quality of the oils, but you can use them internally. As long as they have the label on them that says for internal use, dilute in 1 drop, you know, 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces. You can take them with water, just do it straight, like some drops and then swish some water. If you're gonna put it in a cup, make sure it's not plastic. You don't want petrochemicals that you're drinking. So in a glass bottle, a ceramic mug, stainless steel water bottle, and they are amazing, like for digestive support, immune support, help flush toxins. It's great for energy when you're using them internally. Just so many different ways that you can use them. There's really a fourth, but we'll call it internally, is sublingually. So that's under your tongue. You can put a few drops under your tongue. That's probably the most potent way to use them, because that's the most that will be absorbed through under your tongue. They just found that it's most potent that way. If you don't like the taste of the oils, doTERRA either has some that are made in these soft gels, or you can make your own by buying veggie caps. You can just get a bottle of empty veggie caps, pop off the lid, you put a couple drops in, and then you swallow those just like a regular capsule. We've had digestive issues in our home, and so using one that's called DigestZen has been amazing. Some of us don't like the taste of it, some do, don't care. We've had, you know, sore throats, we've had just crazy things come up, and we have oils in our home. So those are the 3 ways we use them: aromatically, topically, and internally. And I'm not going to go through all of the oils. You can see through, like, what does peppermint do? What does lavender do? What does DigestZen and On Guard do? These have been phenomenal for our family. We have athletes in our home, something will come up like, hey, my ankle's hurting. Well, let's just see if we can put a little bit of deep blue on it, a little frankincense, and see if we can take care of that in our home. We've been using oils for over 10 years now. We haven't had to go to the doctor once for sick care. Other than one ear infection, what we use for ear support is a mixture of tea tree oil, melaleuca, and lavender, and it works phenomenal. Think 6 kids in your home, and we've been able to just use that. I will apply it on and off throughout the day, and usually within 12 to 24 hours, they feel so much better. It just really supports our immune system be able to do what it's meant to do. And so I love that. I love that in the middle of the night, something happens, I have usually something on hand. I can clean out my cabinets, my cleaning supplies, I can get rid of the toxic chemicals, I can clean out the skincare stuff, the personal care things that in the long term were causing some issues for me and for a lot of people, and they don't even know it, that they're exposed to so many toxins. Some of my favorite oils, peppermint by far is probably one I use every day. It helps wake me up and have more energy, so I'm not a little caffeine addict. So I can just put a little in my diffuser, and holy cow, that just stimulates things in your brain. It's great for focus of my kids, school, studying. That's one of my favorites. That's probably one that I wouldn't want to ever do without. Before a workout, I will use peppermint, and it just opens my airways. Also was great for the head tension. So kind of going back to the challenges that I was facing with the migraines, the chronic sinus infections, I was having miscarriages, and then just the mood issue. Like it was just, there was imbalances in my hormones and stuff that I was just not feeling myself. And when you don't feel your best, you do not perform your best. And I know I took it out a lot on kids, husband, whatever. Some of the things that I did with that I started using the oils. I got my own kit of oils. I had dabbled with ordering some online from other companies thinking I was gonna be also smart and cheap, right? They didn't work. And so I wasted my money. So I eventually purchased a starter kit from doTERRA, and it was a time when we were moving from one state to another, and we drove through the corporate headquarters and picked up my kit. I'm like, I don't even know how to use these things, but I feel like they're going to be a solution, that they are going to put me on a different trajectory. And it's just super hopeful that that was going to be it. Within a couple of months of using the oils, like symptomatically as things were coming up, my migraines went away, my chronic sinus infections went away, no more antibiotics. I haven't been on one in 10 years. Mood support, and things started gradually getting better. I started using doTERRAs. They have what's called Lifelong Vitality, which we're not going to talk about, but it's their supplements. And it was starting to give my body the nutrients that it really needed and was craving. Helped with energy, helped with mood, helped with pain. It was amazing. And the oils just really help bridge the gap for things, to make things faster. I had sugar cravings out the wazoo. There were oils that I was using with the peppermint and the wild orange. There were things that I was using for the migraines, the frankincense, tea tree oil for those blemishes, for myself, for my teenagers. Something as simple as this, to be able to help with those things, and that they're in control of it, that they feel like I have more control instead of my body's taking control of me, or with those hormone balances during that time of month, you know, like being able to regulate that without taking a bunch of pills. It's just been invaluable for our family. And that's what I want for you, is you to have those possibilities opened up where you're thriving, that you feel empowered, that you feel like you have tools just at your fingertips. How do you get them in your home? What's the best way to do that? And then how do you know how to use them? So the first way that you can get oils is just pay retail from doTERRA.com. Not the smartest way. And friends don't let friends buy retail. The second way would be, it's like a Costco membership where you pay $35 and you can get a membership to doTERRA and purchase everything at wholesale price for a year. It's 25% off, which is great. But the even better way, the best way, and the way that I recommend for most people getting started, is just getting yourself a starter kit. So you just get a kit of oils that has your 10, 12, 15 oils, top oils. You're set. But then how do you know how to use them? Well, I help you. What we do after you get your kit, I can go through what you have and what's like your top health priorities, what you're wanting to use the oils for, and set up a schedule for you, and how to use those. We'll provide you with a tool to be able to look them up. So there's apps or there's a book. I like both. If you're a physical person, you can look it up. You can look up peppermint and we'll tell you all the things that it's good for. Or if you have something come up, say for instance a wart, I want to get rid of this, you can look up, what do you use for a wart? And because you have a kit, usually you'll just find one from your kit that's listed for that thing. Or if you're using the app, it makes it so easy. If you have a stash of oils and you have a resource guide, and then I'm there to help support you learning how to use those oils. If you have any questions or comments, I have all the links there for the different kits that are available. If you have questions, we can set up a follow-up with you to make sure that you're starting in the right way. And then also, if you have any questions just about what to use for what, go ahead and comment or reach out to me and I can help you to personalize that.